Hi everyone, A Loving Soul here. Hope this video finds you well. Today I want to talk about my thoughts on Dragon Hunter in the standard format. And I know what you're thinking, Dragon Hunter, I already see that deck on the ladder all the time, but that's why today's video is not going to be focused so much on the gameplay, but rather my thoughts on the deck. So I tend to play more wild than standard in Hearthstone, but I saw that I pretty much had the entire Dragon Hunter deck except for one card. I'm looking at you, Dragonbane, and I wanted to do a little snapshot of my thoughts after playing the deck a little bit. So here's the list that we've been playing. We're running the Blue Mosquito Life Drinker as our flex spot. The thing I want to call out here is that we're running a very thin secret package. We're only running 2 secrets. But you can tweak the selection and count. I'd possibly think about slotting in an explosive trap if you're seeing a lot of aggro decks, but try to keep it at 2 to 3. This deck really wants to be as explosive, oh there I go again, as possible, and drawing into your secrets is some feels bad, man. My only word of warning to my budget players out there is that there is an extra hoop that you have to go through if you want to build this deck. You have to buy the third wing of Galakrond's Awakening to get your hands on the star of the show, which is Rotnest Drake, which is really the card that brought this deck to life. You also have to get the 4th wing if you want to get your hands on these Frenzied Fell Wings. As for the early game for this deck, when this deck gets to play out its curve, it feels amazing, especially when you get to cheat out your Frenzied Fell Wings. Essentially, you hit their face for 4, and these guys are free 3/3s. One game I actually got the Dream board. I started out with a turn 1 Blazing Battle Mage into a turn 2 Hero Power, and I got 2 free Fell Wings, and my opponent just straight up surrendered the game. That's a better Hyena Alpha on turn 2, that's absolutely insane. You also get to put your opponents in very uncomfortable spots. You threaten aggro board-based decks with your Dwarven Sharpshooter, which essentially turns your Hero Power into basically Fire Blast rank 2, or sometimes you play the game of, hey, do you have an answer to my Face Stalker? Guess I'm getting a free secret. In the mid-game, Dragon Hunter can feel unfair, as you essentially get to build your board state while clearing theirs out for free with stuff like an infinitely charged Stormhammer, pings from Corrosive Breath or Scale Rider, and of course, Rotnest Drake. Jamming that card on the board on turn 5 when you're already ahead is one of the best feelings in the game. Now this all sounds rosy, but the deck does have its weaknesses. It tries to cut some corners compared to other aggressive decks by running a much thinner count of early drops. You're really only running 4 1-drops, so some decks can really punish you if you miss out on your curve. One thing I've learned the hard way is to not get tempted by Frenzied Fellwing in your mulligan if you don't have early minions in your hand already. It ends up stuck in your hand. You can sometimes get away with it with a well-timed Corrosive Breath because you're pinging the opponent's face for 3, but even then it's a little dicey. So if you're not a fan of praying to RNGesus for the perfect curve, you can join some folks who are opting to play a Dragon Highlander Hunter, trading some of that explosive on-curve action for late game bombs like Bran and Dragon Queen Alexstrasza. Overall, I can see why tier lists like Vicious Syndicate have this deck at the top with a pretty good matchup spread across the board, only falling short against decks with either considerable life gain, like Galakrond Warrior, or decks that can beat you up on the board like Zoo Warlock. If you haven't given the deck a try yet, I'd definitely give it my thumbs up. It's a very fun deck. Or if you're waiting for the rotation like I am, you do you, boo. If you like this sort of content, feel free to subscribe to the channel, it helps out a lot. And with that, I'll leave you with some replays. Peace! I see 1 and a 2, I'm pretty happy with it. I'll probably just keep the Fairy Dragon. We might not want to play this Face Stalker on 2, so having another 2-drop is fine. So, since we got Snake Trap, the only other trap we were running in this current build is 1 Freezing Trap, so we know we'll get a Freezing Trap from this Face Stalker. Since we got the Scale Rider, I'm just going to play this out and start chipping away at these mechs. Any mech deck you want to thin out the mechs as best you can, it's a board control matchup. I'm going to go ahead and do this first. Then we'll get the secret, and then I'm going to go ahead and tracking. But I really like having access to the Stormhammer. Next turn we'll probably go ahead and Scale Rider even though it's off curve. And then maybe we'll just follow up with Stormhammer or something like that. I do want to thin out the mech. I don't care too much about not having the hero power anymore because we have a ping and the scale rider. That's what I'm thinking right now. We also have a freezing trap too, so. I'm gonna go ahead and do this. I'll play a snake trap, play this fairy dragon, I'll pick off this 1/1 just so we don't proc the freezing trap right away. Next turn we might Stormhammer hero power, or we might play the scale rider to ping something off. Those are my thoughts right now. Let's get out these stats. If he conks, I at least get to keep a 3/1. That's what I'm thinking right now. I guess I can just push through this. I'm not going to play around Consecration. Oh, Mechano Egg's coming out. I think we're just going to leave this here. He's probably going to have to magnetize onto this. The worst case is he gets a taunt on it, I guess. We'll probably try picking off the small guy. Let's see how much, actually let's think about how much damage we have. I'm going to go, let's see. We have 6, 9, 11, 12, 14. Let's look for a little bit of reach. Let's get this Primordial Drake, and this will probably help out our plays a little bit. This Rottenness Drake is pretty good. Let's do a little bit of board control. Let's get rid of this mech guy, and we go face with the rest. This way, if he does go ahead and proc the freezing trap, it's only the egg. I didn't want him to have an easy way to proc the freezing trap with his micro mummy. The counter argument to that play is that we could have gotten him down to 5, I believe, and then 5 is like Stormhammer plus our hero power is lethal. But now that we have this Rottenness Drake, we have a backup plan. And then there's the taunt that's coming out. He's probably just going to sit on it. I don't think he's going to swing. If he swings, he's out of the game. But we have an out to this, so we're just going to ping this guy off. I'm going to go ahead and Rottenness Drake, and then we're just going to go face. There we go. We have the Hunter Mirror match. I do want to try to keep this Fellwing. I will probably keep one of these Fairy Dragons just to have a backup play. We really want to look for those 1-drops so we can contest the board. Double Stormhammer, kind of redundant, because usually if you have a dragon on board, these don't lose durability, so you're not too happy to see two. Ooh, that's pretty scary. So they got their 1-drop. We get a secret here. It's not great. We're gonna go ahead and pass. We might have lost the game already on turn 1 because we didn't have a 1-drop. If they have Frenzied Fellwing here, it's really bad for us. They don't. Okay. I'm gonna go ahead and coin out a Stormhammer and just start picking off the board. Board control is really important. We're probably both playing Dragon Hunter. Oh, actually, he plays an Ursatron, so maybe it's like a mech variant. I'm gonna go ahead and play this tracking right now just to be mana efficient and sort of think about what I want for my next plays. I'm gonna get a Primordial Explorer. The other option was the 1-drop just to thin out our curve a little better. Next turn, possibly we might decide to go for face, and then that will make our Fellwing 1 mana, and then we could play something like a Primordial Explorer. Other option is if we have to control the board completely. We have to get rid of this. This guy is too big of a threat. So Dragonbane, if he hero powers, he deals 5 random damage to an enemy, and that's just way too scary for me. So we're probably going to double trade here, and then we're probably going to just get this really big dragon out. So we're going to go ahead and trade. And then play this Fellwing. So yeah, you can see like this Stormhammer's been sticking around for a very long time just because we have the dragons to keep it up. We have board control, but at the same time we're 12 points behind on health, and health actually matters in this matchup. Usually I'm of the opinion where it doesn't matter as much, but yeah, it's kind of rough as you can see. Yeah, so we're gonna have to trade here. Oh, I did make a misplay though. I should have... darn. That's really unfortunate actually. That's fine. I'm gonna go ahead and do this. It's not the worst in the world, but I basically missed 3 damage because I didn't swing with my hammer first, so a bunch of misplays this time around. That's why it's important to think about your plays before you make them, friends. I'm gonna play this dragon out. I think we want something to bail us out pretty soon. We have to keep this in our hand because we needed to activate our Rottenness Drake. We have some health gain through this Life Drinker, but that's about it. They actually might be Singleton. Oh, he discovered Primordial Explorer from his Primordial Explorer, so a lot of value for him. There's his Stormhammer. Let's try it. Looks like he has his own Rottenness Drake. Yep, there it is. I'm gonna go dig for another Rottenness Drake, see if we can get it. I'm gonna get Corrosive Breath. I'm gonna do this. Let's think about our outs. So if we hit him to 5 here, so we hit him to 7. Okay, I think this is our play. So my thought process is, since we have Leroy plus hero power, that's 8 damage. So we just have to play around that. I think that's our best chance to win here. It really hurt that we didn't swing with the Stormhammer that turn because I misplayed the sequencing on trading the dragon into the Boom Pistol Bully. So he'd be at 4 HP here.
Well played.
Am I lost? Does he have access to Ziliax? Okay. Alright, well played. Alright, so we still won the game. We did a very good sequencing on the Freezing Trap, and that bounced his Rottenness Drake, so we got to tempo out. I think we started the game down like 12 HP, but some couple swing turns near the end, we were able to catch up and close out the game.